Hello and welcome to Peeves and Qs. This is the Russian podcast. How many letters do you think we're going to get for that?
So many.
So many letters?
Yeah.
Well, who's with me instead? My comrades. My comrades.
What's this podcast about?
This is a podcast where we ask each other questions and talk about what's annoying us each and every week. That's what we do here. How are you guys? No, not how are you guys. Who are you guys? That one first.
There you go.
This is going swimmingly.
I mean, we lose a cast member for a day and you just go all the crap.
Yeah, we're running a little light over here. I just looked over to the empty spot where our special... Actually, we don't need to talk about him because he's a special guest. He's just not... It's our regular podcast hosting you guys. He's going to hear this and hate us forever. Who are you? Stop just leaving me here to drown and not say anything.
I don't know why we picked you to host
Clever girl.
this.
Clever
Yes.
girl.
Hello.
We also have Quackman.
Why am I here?
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who's talked now all of a sudden.
All right.
So, how are you guys? I'm not going to talk for the next couple minutes, so.
Okay, how was everyone's week? I'll start. It was my birthday this week.
Yay, happy birthday.
So,
Happy birthday.
thank
I just
you.
talked. Broke my rule.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going. Week is going. Yeah, so it's a good week and hoping to make it better. Yep. Okay.
Wow,
Yeah, that's my week.
that was weird.
All right, well, I have a story before we even get started.
Oh, cool.
Okay, last week, after we got done recording, Alex and I, Mr. Ed, went to a comedy show.
Oh, that's right. This was great.
At our local community theater.
Yeah.
Just having a free event, and we decided to go. Go ahead. Or...
What?
You started the story.
I know, but I thought you were going to finish it.
I
'Cause
don't...
The joke that we laughed about for like days.
Oh, I'm not going to do it justice. It's a much funnier
No.
person, but I can give the gist of
You
it.
can
So,
set up-
Overhyping it, just say it.
yeah, there was like it was like one of those weird. There's a series of comedians that talked, and so the first one came up. They each had like 10 minutes, and the first guy he was all right. He was funny. And then the second guy came up, and he had like this long hair, and he had like this
Complete
vest.
punk. Just
Yeah,
a punk.
yeah, like 90s just punk, and he had like this vest with a bunch of like buttons and everything on it. And he was just like, and he had sunglasses on, you know, that kind of thing. It was just like, hey guys, it's great to be here in wherever we were, I guess. And then he like took a drink, and then he like leaned against the microphone stand. And he was like, do you guys think that other Duran was really necessary?
And just,
That's exactly how
and
we
just
react.
paused and like thought on it for a
Yeah,
second. He
yeah.
was just like...
Do you guys think that second Duran
Duran
was
was-
really necessary?
And,
And,
Alex,
then it was just
and
like
Alex
this
and I
great...
busted. We were the first ones to start laughing, and my mother
Yeah.
was with us, and she was just like,
What?
Durant? No. Like, no, Durant.
Man, and we were cracking up, and I was like, this is only the second guy. We still have like another hour and a half of this to go. That was my favorite
That
joke
was
of the
the
night.
funniest
Yeah.
joke of the night, because he literally just threw it out there and was like...
He literally, like, the funniest look on his face, he was like, yeah. He was just like, right? Like, but he like still had that I don't care about any of this attitude, so he's just like, that's it. Just gonna let that sit
Just
there.
gonna drop this golden nugget of
Yeah.
comedy in your lap.
It was
yeah.
hilarious. And all the rest of the comedians were good. They were, on the local bar circuit, so they had really good parts to their repertoires and some not so good parts. But that one just was the crown jewel of the entire
It was
night.
almost not fair because it's like everyone else has to come after this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no one else can compete. There were a few like other really, really funny jokes, but
Yeah.
like nothing that was on that level. So that was great. That was really great.
So that was our week, and it was so funny.
Oh man, yeah. I've been trying to see if I can tell that story to people, but it's never been the right time. This is the right time though, handing it off to a bunch of people on the internet. Let's move on to our Peeves segment.
Okay,
What's annoying you guys this week?
Oh, I have one.
go ahead.
It's non-work related.
Woo!
That is a first. Mark your calendars.
It is. I hate this when you have a friend, like a specific friend, who is like, not the jokester of the group, but like the person who usually is the first one to make a joke, and usually at someone's expense of the group.
Definitely,
But I mean,
yeah.
it's all fun and games. Like
Right.
it's never anything like too far. Usually. But in this case, I hate it when those people can't take a joke.
Oh, can't take it themselves.
Oh.
Like they dish it, but they can't take it.
For example, we have a friend,
Mutual friend.
I feel like I know who this is.
who's a bit chaotic,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Uh-oh.
and
I feel like you're like hinting too heavily.
so I was at work one night, and I got out, and because I work late, the sun is about to rise, and I look at my car, and I realize something is amiss. There's like shaving cream everywhere, like on all the windows.
Oh my gosh, no.
Like I don't mean like
No,
I mean
like you can't see out of it.
solid, like parts, like, and they were sculpted like perfectly to fit my
Only the window?
all the windows and stuff.
How?
And then on my windshield, it just said Quaffman.
Oh, nice.
Which, I don't know if anyone knows this listening, I actually hate that name. So, I knew it wasn't one of you guys.
Uh-huh.
Oh, why would you think that?
Oh.
Why would you assume that we wouldn't do something like that?
My immediate thought was Tyler. My immediate thought. It was, or Rebecca, but it
Sure.
never went to you guys.
Oh, good.
And,
Well, I'm honored, I guess.
I'm glad we got
but I
away with
texted
it.
Rebecca. I texted Rebecca, and I'm like, did you do this with a picture? And she's like, no. Like, what? And I'm like, all right, I know who did this. And so, a couple nights later, I made sure, because he also works nights, but he works later than I do.
Right.
So I got out of work, and I found his car in the parking lot, and I went inside, and he works at a local store establishment. Supermarket, if you will. They have walls there.
Yeah.
A supermarket. A mart. Anyway, Walmart. He works for Walmart.
I thought you were going to say like Walgreens, and I was like, since when?
So I went in, and I bought like 3 packs.
You went into Walmart?
Yeah.
You bought them from his store.
Oh, that hurts even more. That's too funny.
I bought 3 packs of sticky notes. And I sticky noted every single one of his windows in his back, and on his windshield, I wrote
on the sticky
"Quaffman was here" in sticky note.
Nice.
Wait, in sticky note.
Like
As
using,
in like
using the sticky
stick,
notes.
stick.
Oh,
Okay,
these-
there's Q.
Were they small sticky notes?
No,
Wow.
It's a big windshield.
I stacked.
Oh, that's
you
true.
can stack them and you can.
Sure, okay.
But anyway, yeah, and like I did it on all his lights. Like I used up like two whole packs.
This must have taken you some time.
Oh no! Like this took me like 40 minutes. Yeah.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
Man, we gotta start doing that. We gotta start pranking
I was
people.
afraid.
Revenge
So like I was
is
gonna
best
be like
served
I'm gonna have my headphones in,
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm like, oh no!
Listen to.
I'm,
He's gonna- yeah.
I'm technically vandalizing. Technically,
Yeah.
I really don't want anyone to come out. So I'm like, I'm not gonna have headphones in. So if anyone comes out, I'll be like,
Just
"This
listen
is
to-
my friend. This is just sticky note
I'm asking
stuff."
him to prom.
Right?
No.
It's right. Yeah, I'm asking him out. Really, I'm asking him out if he'll be asking him to
Yeah.
be my lover.
Yeah.
And
If you want to be my lover, you got to put sticky notes on my car.
right, exactly. That is how the song
Yeah,
goes.
Did you just reference the Spice Girls song?
Did I?
Of course
If you
he
wanna
did.
be my lover,
I'll
you
let
gotta
you-
use my
I'll let you
post-it
decide.
notes.
I didn't stick around.
Ha! Stick.
I left without having seen it was still a few hours before he'd get out. I was not going to wait in the parking lot, and I'm like,
I would've.
I'm
I would've,
gonna-
like, camped out and watched.
I'm gonna get a text message. It's just gonna happen.
Sure.
I was not prepared for the plethora
Oh, no.
of text messages I woke up to the next morning. You fucking asshole! How dare you? This is my car. Yeah, this is my vehicle. You just can't do that.
What?
Without. He's like, it'd have been one thing if, it was something simple, but it wasn't.
How is that not simple? You literally
Right.
take them off. Unlike shaving cream, which
Unlike
you have to
shaving cream,
smear
which
off.
I had to unarm the building I work
And
at
get water
to get
and,
water and sponge it and right.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I feel what I did was far simpler than
Oh,
shaving
yeah,
cream.
definitely.
Because literally, you just
Yeah, you
grab
just
it.
grab
and
it
you,
and-
I mean, it takes time But that was the point.
That's
Yeah.
kind of fun
The point
too, like
was,
pulling all these.
Like,
Yeah.
that was the point. You wasted my time.
I'm gonna
waste yours.
I'm going to deliberately spend a lot of my time.
And I
So
feel
he
I
couldn't-
feel I escalated in the sense that like I upped my game, but I didn't take it to like another level.
That's
Of,
not
No,
far.
he didn't like
Like
pee on his
absurdity.
car or something,
Right,
or take
exactly.
a huge shit
But
on the
he-
windshield or something.
like
that would have been a great
for
prank.
like 2 weeks wouldn't even talk to me because he was so pissed. And I'm like, that is bullshit,
I have
sir.
a question for you. We're going to move on to questions immediately.
No.
Are you sure it was him? Like, did he confirm that he was the one who did the shaving cream bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I
then,
mean, there's only a handful of people that call him
Sure, but-
Clockman.
I
Most
mean-
of them are in this room.
I mean,
Was it you
so-
guys?
It was not me.
Was it Rebecca?
I don't know.
Apparently not.
It was him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, like Rebecca told me later that, oh yeah, Tyler definitely did do that. Like I was there when you bought the shaving cream. And
She was a complice.
Shaving cream is not like a cheap thing.
No.
though. Like you have to go and.
yes, it is.
I mean, it's
Well,
cheap, but it's not.
It's not as cheap as postage.
Right. Like it's something you have to
like
like.
you can get like a can of Barbasol for like 99 cents.
I guess.
Where?
Walmart.
Oh, I should go to Walmart.
Well, you used to work at Kmart, so you don't know that. You used to pay like $3 for shaving cream.
Yeah. Wow.
So people who can't, who do it but can't.
Yeah, people who are, and they're the same people that's like that. When you ask them to stop, like, whoa, I think you took it too far. That was a mean thing you just said.
They're like, oh,
I'm just
come
joking.
on, I'm just
it's
joking.
all fun.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
then they cannot
Take it.
a joke. And this was just an instance of like physical comedy, but like the same person also can't take the brunt of a
Made
joke
fun
either.
of, yeah.
Anyway, that's my peeve.
On a similar
Get over
note,
yourself, people who do this. Get over yourself.
On a note
You're
like
not special.
on a note like that, there is this video by Cracked.com.
Like a sticky note.
Yes, I can see it.
Are you going to post it later?
I will. I'll be posting.
Okay.
This has been Peeves and Qs. Thank you for listening. I want to see if people will shut the podcast off if we just leave a long enough silence there. There's a video by Crack.com, and they talk, and it's like about pranking, and it's like,
Right.
what's not a prank? And like lying to people isn't a prank, and there are
No.
like videos online that are
Right.
like prank videos, and it's like this one of the examples is like this guy who calls his father and says, "I got my girlfriend pregnant," and then he like freaks out and overreacts to it, and it's like, that's not a prank. That's just lying to a person. And
That's manipulation for
Yeah.
laughter. Like,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it funny? Sometimes.
I mean,
if
it
it's-
can be.
Yes, sometimes.
But it's
Yeah.
not. But you're right. It's not.
It's not a prank, and so like, and there were like tons of other examples. It's like,
So how do they define a prank?
well, they were like, obviously, humor is subjective, and jokes are
I was gonna
funny
say
to
it.
different people.
Exactly.
But like the definition of a prank is, they say they gave like the Merriam-Webster like dictionary.com or something. It's like it's where you heighten the level of reality around a person to make them appear foolish or whatever. And they like gave an example at the beginning, which is like, so this guy, he walks past this girl on the street, and the girl's like a random person, and he like sneezes, and behind the girl on the other side, like, because it's like, here's the dude, and then there's a girl, and then there's like these trash cans behind her, and like they have set up so he sneezes and they like go flying. And she like freaks out. She's like, "Whoa, what just happened?" It's like they have now heightened the reality, and she doesn't know if she's living in a cartoon world all of a sudden. Maybe that's not like hilarious, but that's what a prank is, basically. But and then they have the same guy,
A banana peel, if you will.
Yeah, sure. But then like the same guy, they have another video where he's like playing with his child, like his baby, and his wife is in the room, and then she like leaves, and he replaces the baby with a dummy in the baby's clothes, and accidentally, in quotation marks, throws the baby like off a banister when she walks in, and she freaks out. She's like, "You just threw our kid off the railing," and it's like, well, is this really a prank, or did you just pretend to kill your own child at the expense of your wife?
I think that's a prank.
I mean,
Don't you ever do that.
Oh, no, that's
I
horrible.
would never do that.
Right.
I mean, that's totally not a hilarious thing that I think I would totally do. But I don't know. Like, I think
We should.
that might be a
This
prank.
this
might have
person
been.
always that you're talking about
Yeah.
is always like trying to scare me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so much so that I can't even go through I can't even do some things because I'm like, no, he's out there and he's going to scare me.
I went on the most horrifying car ride of my life with him. I want to tell you guys about this. This is going to be real quick.
I already
It's about
know,
me.
No.
I know it.
Oh.
I helped.
Oh, no.
I helped him plan this.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe I haven't heard
I wasn't
this. Go ahead.
there.
I think.
But
Yeah.
I
think,
helped him plan
I think
this.
he told me that you were involved in this.
I
planning.
totally helped him plan this.
Just tell me. I don't think
so
I've heard this.
I think we might have been hanging out at
I
like your
will
house.
preface. He went too far.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
my plan, like, he wanted me to plan this because he wasn't trying to do it. I planned it to a T. He escalated it way
too much.
Too
Okay, I have to hear
So
this now.
nothing happened. He just told me about it.
Oh, yes. I heard about this, but go ahead.
Okay, so I think we were at your house.
Yes, and then on the drive home,
And then
he
I
said
was
he
like,
was going to do this.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, I want to take you home because his car wasn't there or whatever. So it's like me and him were driving to his house. And at first it was fine. It's just like we were hanging out, laughing, having fun. And then he was just like, so I don't know if we're going to do this, so I'll just tell you about this plan that we had where we were going to like, I can't remember exactly. It was a while ago. So he was like, we're going to like, make sure you're stopped like at a red light or whatever, and then drive up behind you and like get out of the car and make sure that he's like with me or something. And then like, it's gonna be like we're all gonna be hanging out. I'll be in like the back seat of his truck or whatever,
Yes.
and it'll be like him and Rebecca or him and Doopy or whatever driving, and then they'll pretend like the car is stalled or something and won't work, and then you and Doopy or somebody in another car will like drive up and get out and like knock on the doors and like with masks or whatever and be all threatening and scary. I can't remember the exact details. But I was like, that's really creepy. I'm really glad you didn't do that because, like, I don't like when things are real, you know? Like, similar to you. Like, I don't like when I feel like I'm in danger.
I can't.
I like watching scary videos online because I'm like, I'm safe in my home, but I don't like...
Until we met this friend who would break into our house, yeah.
He has... This is a separate story. But he has snuck into my house without me knowing and been, like, on the other side of my...
go ahead.
Because I have thin walls too in my bedroom, and there's like this furnace room which is attached to my bedroom, and so you can walk in this room, and you're like, and my bed is up against that wall, or was at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's me and Jody laying in bed, here's this thin wall, and here's our friend in the other room that we don't know is there. And he suddenly just laughs. He just goes, heh, 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 and we're like,
I about shit myself.
Right, but
I literally was paralyzed with fear, like I couldn't even say anything. I was just like, I thought I was gonna die.
And I was freaked out, but I was like, I knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah,
so I was like,
I knew who it was too, but it was just like,
back to the car story. But like that was, and I was like really creeped out. I'm like, oh, that's really creepy. And he's like, yeah, actually, this road that we're on right now is like the perfect road that I would have chose to done it. And I was like. And I'm like, I had all of my hairs were standing on end at this point. And I was like, yeah, really? I'm glad you didn't do that. That would have been creepy. He's like, yeah, I maybe part of the plan is to freak you out by telling you the story so that you're freaked out about it. And then I was just like, oh, okay. So I was like, the rest of the ride home where I was like driving home and he was just like being all creepy. It's like, oh yeah, this road. I think it was this road that we were talking about doing it on. Interesting. Anyway, and I was just like,
was that the same plan that you were talking about?
It's similar.
Oh no!
So,
I might be misremembering.
No, so my when we came up with it together, it was the same thing. Going down a road, it was going to be you, Doopy, and it was you, Doopy, Tyler,
Sure.
in his truck, and you were going to be taking Doopy home. And so, of course, there's a plethora of roads in those backwoods taking Doopy home.
Yeah,
and
they're creepy at night too.
Yeah,
they
at
are.
night he was going to pretend that like he ran out of gas.
Yeah, that was it.
Not just stalled, like ran out of gas.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or no, stalled. It was stalled. You're right. Not ran out of gas.
Okay.
It was stalled, and then he's going, "Oh man, this really sucks." But behind you guys, I was going to be in like a Slender Man outfit,
which is your worst nightmare.
Just sort of walking.
Nope.
Just sort of walking up.
Nope.
And then we were going to get another friend of ours who's taller than I am to be Slender Man in front of you. And then Tyler was going to, like, get it on and, like, you drive past him and, like, you take Doopy home. And like,
Sure.
And then that'd be it. And you'd be like, Slender Man confirmed. Okay, like...
Yeah.
So, like, for me, like, I knew
Half-Life
just
3
having
Slender Man.
seen, like, a silhouette of something would be enough to freak you out. You would have a very hard time sleeping that night.
That night?
Mission successful.
Yeah.
Right?
Ever
Tyler
again.
wanted to have the car, like, run out of gas. He wanted me and another friend who probably would not want to be mentioned on this podcast.
You want to tell me after, though?
Sure. Like, drive up in another car.
Yeah.
and start pounding on like the car,
Yep.
drag Tyler out of the vehicle,
yeah.
and pretend to beat the shit out of him on the hood of our car.
Right.
You would have jumped. You just would have drove away.
Maybe.
That's exactly what I would have done too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's no.
Yeah, that's...
No, that's way no.
Right,
That is psychological trauma.
Yeah.
That is not...
That's not a joke.
That's not us pulling a joke that...
About a video game.
Right, about a video game, but also, like, that plays to, like, the fears of... I don't want to say victim, that's not bad, but, like, of the subject.
Yeah.
Right. And, of course, like, the next day, I'd be like, hey, Alex, how was Slenderman last night? You'd be like, what? Are you where? Like,
yeah.
And so, like, I would then tell you, like, the next day, like, that was just us.
Right.
What did you think? Was like, thinking about it, was that cool or, like, whatever?
Right.
We would talk about it, but Tyler wanted...
That plan that Tyler had, that's how people die.
Yeah, that's how someone gets shot.
Yeah, because if it was me, they would be dead. Because if I had a gun, I don't. But
yeah,
I would have shot somebody.
So, anyway,
I'm so on edge lately. Two
No.
instances lately that I have jumped out of my skin. One was last night.
Don't tell me.
You know, you were there. You did the same thing.
I want to remember. Last night.
This can be part of the Alex section, but
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I'm gonna tell it
Okay,
because you
tell
can't. So we're watching Alien 3.
Got it. Okay. Now I know what's happening.
And there's a big window out of the front room where we're watching, and it's at night. Literally, eyes on the screen, TV's right there. And I guess
It's
what
like
you
a
call it.
pinata sort
No,
of
it's a
thing.
sock.
like a wind
Sock
A
pop.
windsock.
Yeah.
And it has long tassels, and wind blows in front of the window. And
Just like
I about-
tentacles. Just
I
like...
about jumped.
You're just like,
10
oh
feet.
god, the xenomorph queen is
Yeah.
like
Oh,
outside.
yeah. Literally, yep.
That, and
Props for
then...
knowing what it's called, by the way.
And then the other time was like 2 weeks ago. We're in Alex's car, and he's dropping me off to my car. And I'm like, oh, okay, see you later, blah, blah, blah. The plans for the rest of the week.
And we weren't, like, at anyone's house. We were at, like, this...
at the theater.
At the theater.
And, I didn't know his car makes this noise. This car makes this noise that's literally... It sounds like somebody's on the back of the trunk going...
Not 4 times, 5 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And
That just means something else to Connor and me.
Yeah.
And I literally slapped Alex and I was like, drive! Because I literally thought someone was at the back of the car. And, like, there was nobody else in this parking lot.
Right.
I just about died.
Right, because...
And he's, like, not moving. And I'm like, go! What are you doing?
Right,
Drive!
she freaked out, and the funniest thing was she was, like, freaking out for, like, longer than I would have expected. So I was starting to get, like, what are you doing right now? Because I felt like she should have just looked around and saw that there was nobody and got it.
I couldn't even look around because I didn't want to look behind me and see something at the end of our car.
So it was very funny. I was, like, immediately laughing at
But
it.
apparently he knows that the car makes this noise, so he doesn't even care. He's just like, what are you doing?
Right, I'm just so used to it.
So my peeve is that people can't take a joke.
Yeah, we talked a lot
That was a
about...
good peeve.
Well, we have one less co-host, so we don't need to, like, worry
Yeah.
about going too long, because I'm sure we'll be fine.
So who's next?
I got a peeve.
Good, go ahead.
If you want me to. Mine's pretty short. Birthday this week. I've been working at my one place of employment for a year now. And I'm very good friends with all my
Happy
coworkers.
anniversary and birthday.
Thank you. Really love my coworkers, and we hang out really well, and like I know a lot about them now. And the rule at my work is like, okay, you have your birthday, and someone gets you bring in cake or whatever for the office, and then you're in charge of the next person's birthday to bring in whatever
really
they
cool.
want. Yeah,
that's
that
really
way
cool.
you're only buying one thing, and like you just cycle it around.
That's really cool. I like that idea.
So it's my birthday. So the last person, her name's Jenny, but she brings in my card and cake, but the card, and I look down at it, and my name is spelled wrong.
Oh, no.
And it's just like, my name is on everything in our office. Like, I have to sign in, my name's there and everything. So you're constantly
it's
seeing
not like,
my name.
it's not like someone, if they didn't inherently for sure know how to spell your name, they're
Yeah.
going, oh wait, her name is everywhere, let me check these
that's-
plethora of things.
I feel like in the age of Facebook, you should never
Also
not
Facebook.
know how to
Yes,
spell
I do
someone's
it
name.
constantly. If I don't know how to spell somebody's name and I'm friends with them on Facebook, I double check it to make sure I'm spelling it right.
Absolutely.
Because I personally, I hate when people spell my name wrong, and it happens so often. My name's Jody. I spell it with a Y, and most of the time when people write it, they spell it with an I. My name's not Jodi. Jody. But so.
And
Have you ever gotten IE?
I get IE, I get JODEE, I get yeah.
EE, that's dumb.
Most of my students spell it that way. I don't know why, but
millennials.
I guess.
I mean, we're millennials too, but like younger millennials.
Shut your mouth. I was born in 1991.
It's 80 and later.
No.
Yeah.
No,
it
not
is.
at all.
It's 80 and
Shut
beyond.
up.
It's millennial. It's true.
Connor and I are not going to conform to
I'm
that.
not. No.
I mean, I don't consider myself a millennial, but it's 80 and beyond.
But it's just I don't know. For being in an establishment, and I try really hard to learn all my coworkers' names and how they spell them, because we have 3 Michelles there and they all spell them different. But
and you told me that like people will post on Facebook
I
like
hate
comments to
that.
you, and it's like
My
it's
name is
on
right
Facebook.
there.
You're literally like 2 inches away from how it's spelled. Yeah.
yeah. I bet people spell your name wrong all the time, because I used to spell your name wrong for a little while.
No one knows how to spell my name.
Literally. Do you want to talk about the award?
The what?
The award that I just gave you like a couple
Oh
months ago?
yeah, the
yeah.
award. The award at the same community theater that we've been talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I've been acting, and so I've been performing, and I've been on the production side of things, and I've been
For like 8 years.
Yeah, like not just that, but part of like the administration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been like I was a leader head for a while, and my name was spelled wrong.
I'll let you know that I ordered that award and they spelled it wrong because I double checked
It wasn't just the E. So like my name is Connor. Most people spell it CONNER. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
There are times that I almost spell it with an ER. I'm not because it's been ingrained like because I see it all the time because that's just how people spell it.
I think
Yeah.
the natural spelling of
But
Jody
this
is
award-
with a Y.
Yeah.
And the natural spelling of Connor is with an E. So like.
This award wasn't just spelled wrong; it was just wrong. It was CONNER.
So Connor, like Con-R.
Conair.
Conair.
Like,
Oh, that's a great movie, by the way.
that is a good movie.
Unrelated.
Anyway, but yeah, I was like, oh. So yeah, so
Give me that award, I'll go and have it changed.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, I see how much.
Yeah.
I'd throw it out too if my name was spelled wrong on it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where it is.
That's okay.
Actually, no, I think it's a glove box. Oh yeah, so I don't get because that's the thing. There are clearly people, because the 3 of us have just agreed, are courteous enough to check spelling. Mm-hmm. Like for example, in like your card.
Yeah.
Like, not only are you writing something to somebody, but this is like a card. This is meant to be, hey, we are thinking of you on like this day. Like this is like kind of a your day sort of thing.
Yeah.
We want to do this nice thing for you. So it's not even just like here you go. It's you were going out of your way to do a nice thing, to be nice, but you aren't courteous enough or don't care enough
To make sure my name
to like, and that's the thing. Like in like you said, Facebook. In a day where Facebook is saying, I don't. But even if you don't want to get out your phone, or if you don't have Facebook on your phone, you don't want to go home and look on the computer.
Sure.
Fine. In your case, it's everywhere in your office.
Yeah.
I don't. And I guess my thing, and I know I just recapped everything you said, but I think that just goes to show, like, do you think that's because people are just so absent-minded, or do you think? I don't think there's intent. I don't think there's ill intent, but like there's courtesy, but then there's being absent-minded, or a lack of courtesy in being absent-minded.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't.
Or they're just so confident that it's like, yeah, that's how you spell it,
Mm-hmm.
and not even think that yeah.
I don't know because I can't put myself in that mind space because
Yeah.
I feel like people like that and people like us are just at different, just operate on different frequencies.
Sure. Oh,
in the
absolutely.
universe.
He says that because you hardly ever spell Alex wrong unless you say Alec, but that's a completely different name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever spelled your name ALIX?
No.
Okay.
I did work with a girl once at a job who was Alex with a Y.
Oh yeah, those people.
ALYX.
Yes,
Alex.
that was interesting.
Alex.
Alex.
But bizarre. Alex.
Oh.
So my peeve.
So we're just done with mine?
Are we?
Are we?
Okay.
What else is there to talk about?
I don't know. You just jumped into that one.
All right,
That's okay.
Alex.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I guess that's fine now because I'm the jumper.
My
of things.
other thing is when people mispronounce my name. I don't know. Because I'll literally say it every day. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Jody. I'm going to be helping this doctor today."
Who mispronounces your name?
And how?
Well, they
How?
said they like Jody or Jody or Jody or they're like Judy, and I'm like, no, that's not my name. And Josie, like.
Yeah.
It's not a hard name.
I know. I don't know
it's
why
not
when I
different,
introduce myself,
right,
people
right.
are literally. And one time I've literally gotten, "Hi, my name is Jody." Judy? No, Jody. Okay, I'm gonna call you Judy Jody. I'm like, no, that's not my name. Sorry, just very picky about my name.
That's great. That's great. So
your peeve.
my
Yes.
peeve,
Yeah, now
all
we
right,
can move
cool.
on. I'm done.
My peeve is, and this is something that happens to me often, I would say, is when people assume the word "to" in places where it doesn't exist. For example, I will say that something is heavy, and people will like pick it up and be like, "It's not that heavy." I'm like, "No, it's not that heavy. It's not too heavy. I'm just saying it's heavy." Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Kind of.
I think I know what you're talking about, but if you could explain
Yeah.
it differently,
Like,
There's-
what makes you mad about
because
it?
I'm not sure if people hearing picked
Yeah.
up on what you're saying because I picked up on it because of your body.
Okay,
cues.
sure.
Yeah.
So I will try to. I guess
So
Jody
your
and
problem is with TOO.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because, and it might not be too, it might be like very or something like
Yeah.
thinking that something is too much for me to handle.
Gotcha.
Despite me
So
just.
we're not talking about grammar. We're
Okay,
talking about
Right,
I
right,
gotcha.
yes, yes.
I
Okay.
thought you were focusing on
like,
grammar.
No,
That's what I was
okay.
thinking too.
Okay, no,
Okay.
not grammatically, like logically.
So you're just, what you do is
Yeah.
you say a fact.
Yes.
And someone, like myself,
Sometimes.
will say, "Oh, is that too much for you to handle?"
Right,
Because
right.
it sounds like a complaint.
Yeah.
But you're literally just stating a fact.
Like we'll be eating, and I'll take a bite and be like, "This is hot," or like, "I think this is hot," and then it'll be like, "I think it's fine," or it's like, "You can eat this successfully." It's like, "Yeah, I can eat this. It's also hot. Like it isn't
Yeah.
too hot for me
Would
to
it be?
eat."
Would you have a different reaction if it like someone came out with you a question? So if like you were, so if I were to like make something,
Yeah.
and you were over and like you were having a meal, and you just stated a fact,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this is hot."
Yeah.
Would you have the same problem if I went, "Oh, like should I like have left the burner?" Like if I had asked,
Yes,
that?
because
okay,
because it's the same principle. Because and this is mostly on me. I
Okay.
acknowledge that because I will
It
just
is.
I just like to say my
Facts.
thoughts.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Because like mostly and sometimes it comes off as complaining.
It does.
And
Well, no, I take it as complaining.
that's true. But other people do too.
Yeah.
It's not just you. So I will often just say a thing that isn't a problem.
Yeah.
That I'm perfectly fine with.
Right. Mhm.
Just to have said it. Just to have said
Right.
something.
And I think I've known you long enough.
yeah.
I think I pick, for the most part, I think I pick up on
Right,
this
right.
with you. But for me, because I'm such a pleaser,
Yeah.
Me too. I'm
right,
exactly the
I
same
don't
way.
hear you complaining. I hear you saying something. Not that you're saying it's a problem.
Right.
But say, for example, the same thing here. It's hot.
Yes.
I would be like, "Oh, can I fix that?"
Yes,
Right.
that's what I do too, and
Right.
that's why I take it as a complaint because I'm immediately gonna go, "Do you need me to get like whatever? What do you need me to do to make it not whatever?" And he's like, "I'm literally just saying the fact."
Yeah, it's like maybe even I like that about it. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah, and I don't know that either. 'Cause
Right,
normally you're
okay.
not just like. Usually people use like, "This is great," not like, "This is hot."
I can't think of an example, but I'm sure we've had we've been watching movies together, and I've been like, "This movie's weird" or something, and you'd
yes,
be like,
and I'll be like, "Why? Why would you say that?" Blah,
right,
blah,
and
blah,
you'll be
blah.
like, "We can just shut it off then if you don't like it." I'm like, "No, it's good weird. Like I like it. I'm just saying that it's weird," and I just
because he doesn't complete thoughts.
well, I think that this movie is weird is a complete thought. It's just not. It's just
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. That it is complete to you
But
because
not
you
to
have
us,
right
yeah.
because you have context.
yeah,
To us, completely
that's true.
not connected to that context, that internal logic for you
And I bet a lot
in
of
that scenario.
I bet a lot of our listeners are that way because, that is a huge aspect of introverts are like that. They don't finish a thought because they have their own thoughts in their head and they don't need to finish them.
Right.
Whereas Connor and I are very social. So definitely, I bet our listeners are on
But-
that same boat. They get it.
Yeah, I've just been in situation. I can't think of any specific examples now, but like where I'm out in the wild. And that's my phrase for like
Literally.
that's my phrase for like not intimate friends and not like family members,
Right,
just
just
like
out,
regular
like you're
people.
out, yeah.
And I'll be like, heavy is like the best thing I can think of. Like I'll be moving a box or whatever, and be like, "This is heavy." It's like, "Oh, I lifted it earlier. It's not too bad." No, I'm just saying it's heavy. I'm just saying things out loud. Don't like assume that I'm having a problem with this thing.
I know.
I don't know. Yeah. So that's my peeve for this week.
Definitely. That is a huge social thing.
And I'm just a bad communicator.
Don't
mostly.
say bad.
I'm poor communicator mostly.
That's the thing. I don't think you are a bad communicator. I think you lack general aspects of communication. So, like, you are a very good, we were talking, because actually, special guest and I were talking about this the other day. You have a way of orating that is very unique to you, and you can describe something really well. So I think you are a great communicator, but there are basic fundamental like building blocks that just weren't set somewhere.
Yeah,
so like basic like face to face communication about something inconsequential. Sometimes I think not that it's bad or it's lacking, but like it's sometimes for me. And maybe it is for you. It's like you don't run into a brick wall, but like there's a sign that says there's a brick wall, and there's a brick wall like 10 feet away, and you're like, well, best avoid that.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Jody knows exactly what I mean.
Okay, I'll just leave.
It's just your face. I know you intimately enough that I can see past the face.
Yeah.
But my family does not.
Right.
So explaining to them, like, he does not mean that when he looks like that. Yeah.
Right.
So yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everyone
man.
is different. The world is made up of introverts and non-introverts.
Yeah. So that's not so much a peeve. It's just like a observation that always makes me go like, now I have to deal with this problem, even though I didn't before.
Gotcha.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And I think today marks the first time we've had like peeves about people that are on the show.
Yeah, because we don't normally.
Yeah, I wanted to make an observation of it. That's a good season finale thing to do because like we mentioned someone who was a special guest in a previous episode.
A super special guest?
A super special guest.
An extra special guest. By the way,
a one-time guest.
we were supposed to be calling Jordan
one-time
a one-time guest this whole time.
and that was the joke.
Since it's a season finale, I want to like break down some of the walls here. We were going to make a joke about how Jordan was a one-time guest each episode, but I forgot and just called him a special guest, and then that threw us out because we were going to have actual special guests be special guests, but Jordan be the one-time guest. That failed. So now we just have special guests and super special guests.
Do you think we can change that? Do you think, like, almost like a character journey, if you will?
Yeah,
we can,
an arc.
Next season, we can just
do better.
call him one-time guest.
So this.
Hope the joke goes.
So
Hope you laugh.
in a narrative sense, this is where our special guest has been killed off and replaced with like the twin brother, who's exactly the same.
He's regenerated, if you will.
Alright.
He's the same person, but he's not the same.
I'm on board with everything that's being said right now.
I'm also bored. Anyway.
Great. Let's move on to our next segment.
Wow.
I'm not.
Do you guys have questions for the group? I do. I have a question.
Sure, I have a question, but I don't want to go first.
I'll go first. Okay. What is the best video game console?
In our opinion.
In your opinion, yes. Which holds a special place in your heart?
Okay, so like to us, not like I think definitively this console is the best.
If
For
we wanted to
universal
have
users.
that conversation, we could do that too. But that would depend on
It's
a lot of
open. It's
things.
open. The
Right.
question is open
Yes.
to either or. Okay.
I want to say the GameCube
Okay.
because Nintendo just has everything together. Well, used to. Maybe not so much in recent years, but they used to like have everything together in such a way that the other consoles and the other producers just didn't. First of all, like, well, I guess no, not backwards compatibility. That didn't really exist in GameCube time. But in later years, like you could play GameCube games on the Wii, and in the Wii U, it has like every system in it, and like you can play every Nintendo game on a Wii U. So probably the Wii U is the best, but I like the GameCube the best because like that had just the best games for it. There's some THC is a video game
It's
company.
also a drug. Well, it might be, but I have no idea. But,
That's THC.
yeah.
He's seeking HTC.
There you
no,
go.
No, I said THQ or THC. It doesn't matter.
You're a drug addict. No.
It doesn't matter. The point is they they make some pretty bad games. Actually, they make some pretty bad like licensed game based on products.
Oh yeah.
But
Such
they have
as?
I think Rugrats. I think they did pretty much anything you can think of. Danny Phantom. They've had like all Nickelodeon products have had like games made, and they're mostly terrible. But I love the SpongeBob THQ games, THC, whatever.
Yeah.
You've played one.
I did. Yeah, I played one a couple of weeks ago, and I was impressed at how easy it was to navigate, and it was just I liked it.
Yeah, something about those games, and maybe it's probably because I played them like growing up. But they like, and that was my first console. That's probably going to be a huge bias there, but because it also has Wind Waker, which is the greatest Zelda game. The best Zelda game is Wind Waker. I'm
not disagreeing.
Putting that out there for the world to.
Do you play Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the best
I
Zelda
don't.
game? Huh?
What's
For me,
Yeah. What's your favorite Zelda game?
question within a question? You can't even answer.
Is it Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina?
no, Majora's Mask.
That's my second.
Yeah,
it's
Majora's Mask.
I mean, for me, it's tied. Honestly, it's tied.
I mean, I love Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
But Majora's Mask.
Has like a tone to it that the other games don't. Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna be put on the spikes here, but I like Twilight Princess.
Yeah, watch out, watch out.
No, I like Twilight because again, tone. That was more about here's a concept, here's what you know about this universe, and here's the tone, and then like let's like add a layer to it. And anyway, but so you were saying
Yes.
Mr.
So
Ed.
also there's Wind Waker. There's also the Zelda Collector's Edition, which has Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, the first Zelda game, like The Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2, which that's 3 amazing games, and Wind Waker for that system, and just a ton of other just really solid. A lot of Spyro games, I think.
Yeah, Spyro's definitely great.
Spyro. So something about that system, Nintendo, GameCube.
Nice.
Connor, go.
Oh, I thought it was like my question. I was like,
Not yet.
I don't feel this is right.
I mean, unless
The
you want
360.
360.
The 360.
Really?
Is that
Yeah.
an Xbox?
Yes.
Okay.
Xbox 360.
Just checking.
That one over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, specifically that one and the one I had before it went red ring.
What is the difference between Xbox consoles, 360 consoles?
What do you mean?
Like, why is that one the best console?
Why is 360 versus
As opposed
one
to
or
an Xbox or an Xbone?
No,
I mean Xbox One.
no, but you specified that console, that system that
Well,
you have over
that's
there.
mine. Well, because it's mine.
So it's the best.
I've had a lot of memories, great memories with that console. But no, but like
Move on, yeah.
But like for me, it's the 360, and again, which is why I wanted to ask like if we meant like for us like has been our favorite or what we think is the best functioning console. Because if I were to answer that, I'd say the PS4.
Yeah.
But I mean, technology progresses, and so it'll always be the next generation. But the 360, I love the interface. I think the interface is. I think the original interface was a little weird, but then they updated it shortly after it came out, and the interface has been fine since then. They've updated it since then. I like some of the exclusive games that had come out on it originally. Yeah. Again, I hold no. I don't keep it a secret that I'm a huge Mass Effect fan.
Right.
And for the majority of Mass Effect's life, it was exclusively an Xbox 360 game.
Not PC?
Or a PC.
Okay.
but not...
Oh,
but
PC is the best console.
But not like console. And yeah, I think the PS3, for as great as the Xbox 360, I think the PS3 had better graphics, I think.
Yeah.
It probably had a better processor, but I don't know, like there was just something about the 360. And also there was something about having a 360 because everyone else at the time had a 360. Not everyone had a PS3.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a bandwagon thing. I think there were just, when they first came out, they had enough exclusive games for the Xbox that got people to really like the Xbox 360. And so when it came time when they released console exclusive, it was like, well, I already have the 360, I'm not going to get a PS3, even though it might be slightly better.
Right.
This is great, and also Xbox Live. I never played on Xbox Live. I have no interest in that. I don't want a game with 12-year-olds.
Right.
But yeah, it's.
But they can call you racial slurs. Doesn't that excite you on the inside?
No, because I don't want 12-year-olds telling me how much she really wants to skull fuck my mom.
I guess you're just missing out then. Go on.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it with skull fuck.
Skull fuck.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't feel like frat boys wanted a PS3. You know, like
Well,
they
no,
wanted a,
but
they wanted a
I think
360.
that, but like, I mean, not saying that I'm a frat boy, but like, I think
Right,
there's
right.
something that's really cool that like the PS3 was like, okay, this is the console for gamers, but then the 360 was like, hey, if you're really into gaming, but you also like want to try some video games, or like if you're into video games, as opposed to like gaming.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like the 360 is more like accessible to a lot of people, whereas the PS3 is more
and
specific.
we're not going to talk about the Xbone. Like, I just refuse.
It's called the Xbox. We're fine. That's all you need to know.
I'm not going to call. I'm not going to talk about the Xbone.
I don't even know why I bothered to answer this question, but
Yeah.
for those gamers that aren't out there who maybe dabbled when you were younger,
SNES.
Yes.
Super Nintendo. Yep.
Yep.
That's all I ever had growing up. You know, my sister had it in her room.
Hey, Link to the Past.
Yep.
One of the best sellers.
Shut up. That's
But
sad that I know that.
If we have to like reference everything back to Zelda, there was no Zelda game for 360, so you're out of the running here.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yep. So
Go on.
you know, sister had it in her room, and like cousins would come over, friends would come over, and that's what we did. We played on the Super Nintendo all the time.
Did you ever-
Daycare also had a Super Nintendo. So.
Did you ever play a Sega Genesis?
No, I did not. No, I'm telling you, Super Nintendo was it.
Yeah.
guys, we forgot about the greatest console ever.
You gonna say Commodore 64?
No, the Nintendo 64.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
guys,
That's
the
where,
Nintendo
you know.
64.
did you ever have one?
Yeah, I had one.
Oh, I think
See, I've
you're the
never
only
played
one.
on one.
Oh my gosh, like that. Talk about a console that, like,
Changed
the
everything,
console that was the first, like, console.
Yeah,
like, really
definitely.
the first.
of the new generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, they were kind of in the past.
Yeah.
And 64 and on is like,
I can't believe I thought you for sure were gonna say N64 or GameCube.
I just never played N64. But if we're talking about like I did play it. Like I have played it before, but I never had one.
Mhm.
If we're talking about like what system had the best games, N64, like all day on that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, like Xbox 360 might have like Mass Effect might be the best game of all time, but
Yeah.
it's like there's Mass Effect and not much else. I'm sure you can point out like a ton of games, but
yeah,
but if you're gonna like list the great games from each,
Yeah.
I think 64 has the best of those. I think that's just my
I would say that too because even as a non-gamer, like watching this N64 games, I'm like, oh, those definitely look interesting.
because that's
And
when
those, that was a style too.
Yeah.
They're very much like you never went, is that a GameCube game or is that an N64 game?
right,
Yeah.
right.
You're like, oh, that's an N64 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell.
Is that a PS2 game? Or a PS or a PlayStation game, or
Right.
is that an N64? That's an N64 game.
Well, look if there are colors in it or not.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
if there's colors, it's a Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's all just gray and black and blue and everything,
Though it did give rise to the worst game ever created,
oh,
Superman 64.
we don't
Don't
have to
open
talk
that
about
wound.
this either.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. We can just move on from this.
Yeah. Good question.
Thanks. Do you have a question for us?
I do have a question.
Oh, is it going to be a doozy? Is it going to be a heartbreaker?
I don't think so.
Well, we can do hers instead.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's what is something, and I think we've actually asked this before,
Yeah.
but I'm going to ask it again because
Sure.
times things change. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What is something that I'll even like be specific. What is something right now that you're into, like right now specifically,
Yeah.
that you're just sort of into it? It's maybe not the best thing in the world, but something like you're just like all right, I'm getting into this,
Yeah.
and everyone else is
Ooh.
sort of like either hating on
Oh,
it or
yeah.
they're just like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you like that? Why?
That's a good twist because that was just last week that we asked the question like what
Okay.
is something that you're into that you don't
Okay.
get why other people hate on, but
Right.
that's a good twist to it that
Yeah.
you're into right now.
Like
Yeah.
right now, yeah.
Good twist. So what's yours?
Mine is Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
Wait,
too.
what was
I'm-
that? In case we didn't hear that.
I am into right now, and other people are not into right now. Batman versus Superman.
Oh,
Not versus V Superman.
Finish.
Dawn of Justice.
Yes. Dawn of Justice.
I am not super into this movie.
Yeah.
Because I think as a film,
Yeah.
like as a cinematic experience,
It has its-
superheroes aside,
Yeah.
there are flaws in the filmmaking.
There are many.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Are you saying that superheroes don't have flaws?
no.
Nothing. I know. Just
No.
kidding. I'm kidding. God.
If you take the superheroes
Yeah.
out of the film, there's flaws.
Still flaws.
Put them back in.
No flaws.
Tons of flaws. Oh,
And,
no flaws.
and I'm not going to get into why people aren't into it because
Yeah.
I think the
'Cause you
internet
know.
is full of that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why I'm into it.
Okay.
That Ben Affleck, I'm going to get some hate for this.
Batfleck, yes.
Batfleck, who will forever be known on this podcast as
Yes,
Batfleck.
Batfleck.
Oh, is that
Whether
weird?
whether or not he is being Batman.
So we
Hey, did you catch Batfleck in Jersey Girl?
I was watching Gone Girl the other day. And
Which
Batfleck was
also
in it.
is a
watching-
movie.
I was
which
watching
also
Pearl Harbor.
is a movie I am into that others are not.
Jersey
I
Girl?
like Jersey Girl.
I've never
Kevin
seen
Smith. I enjoy that movie. I like that movie. I enjoy the story of that movie. Thank you for
Wow.
making that movie.
I like Jersey Boys.
Yeah, I like.
That's
Jersey.
a very different movie.
I know, but it's
let me
way
tell you
better.
why I'm into BVS DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
It is my favorite. I think it is the closest version to comic book Batman we've ever got.
Except for the killing.
What's that?
The many times he killed people in that movie.
Right. I didn't say the movie was perfect.
Right, those are those flaws. Gosh.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of
Like
those
personality and things like that.
personality, I mean, hell, just the design itself. I'm like, this is Batman. Hell,
Yeah.
His transition, which wasn't much of a difference in this movie, because I hope they show more of this. The Bruce Wayne versus Batman. I got in this movie more than any other. He is always Batman.
Yeah, he takes
Like
off.
even in the Nolan films, like
Right.
he is Batman always. But Batman in those films, it was I am Bruce Wayne. That is who I am. I put on the suit and I become Batman. When
feel
I'm
like-
a playboy, I'm what people think Bruce Wayne is. Whereas this, Batfleck portrayed Batman who puts on Bruce Wayne.
I feel like that's the difference
Yeah.
between Marvel and DC.
Yeah,
Because
oh, yeah,
you can kind
sure.
of extend that to all DC
Sure.
characters. Are like Superman is Superman who pretends to be Clark Kent. Batman is Batman who
Or
pretends
pretends to be what is he
Personifies.
Yeah,
the
what he
reporter,
gives out.
the
Yeah,
glasses,
that-
right, and
yeah.
like Diana Prince. There's no Diana Prince. It's just Wonder Woman who puts on a disguise, right?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you can make a case for other characters like the Flash and all that, but I feel like they are those characters who dress up as their alter egos. And Marvel is like, you know, Tony Stark exists, and he goes out and helps people as Iron Man, right?
Mhm.
So
the persona he puts on is the hero. Not that he isn't a hero, but
Right.
he doesn't feel complete without
yeah,
the extra personality of Iron Man. Anyway,
right. So
but there's that, and as many problems as I have with Man of Steel, I think the questions that this movie raised about Superman,
yeah,
and I hate the idea of, is Superman relevant in today's? Yes, Superman will
I was
always
gonna say,
Right.
he'll
be
always
relevant.
be relevant.
yeah.
It's not. It's a matter of can you write a story that utilizes the relevance,
right.
which puts the responsibility on a writer, not
Yeah.
a writer putting the responsibility on the material they create.
Yeah.
I liked the questions. I thought the way they approached it was a little flawed. I thought the conclusions that they made were a little flawed, sure. But visually seeing how they explored those questions was really interesting, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, it's a step in the right direction after Man of Steel. I can't tell you how much I hate Man of Steel and how Man of Steel. And I watched it recently. Do I hate it as much as I used to? No. I think honestly it was a pretty solid start for this DC Cinematic Universe, but it's not a Superman movie, and that's fine. And that's fine
But don't.
if that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Right.
But it wasn't.
Well, that's why they didn't call it Superman. They called it Man of Steel.
Stop.
Maybe I don't know. I'm just pulling that out of somewhere.
Anyway, I'm into this movie right now, and I'm liking this movie, and I'm enjoying the fact that this movie exists. I have seen this movie. I saw it twice in theaters. I'm going to be buying the extended edition because I want to see the extra footage and see if like that helps with some of the holes and stuff.
Connor,
Hopefully.
literally everything you just said, I could also have said.
Yeah.
Like I saw it twice in the theaters. Like
Yeah.
I also, I really enjoy Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Like I
Right, I enjoy it.
like it was a lot of fun. That's not the right
Yeah,
word.
That is not the
didn't-
right
That's
word.
not the right word to use.
I didn't leave the theater going, I was so bored, blah, blah, blah. I left Man of Steel going, I wasted my money.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a good experience. I left this movie going, I'm glad I saw this movie. That was a good experience.
Right. But you and I both recognize it's like that wasn't a good movie.
No,
that
no.
movie,
What
Superman.
movies have you walked out of besides Man of Steel that
This
you're
is a
like,
good
this
question.
is a what?
Pixels.
You walked out
That
of Pixels?
you walked out of Pixels.
I legit.
We went to the drive-in,
Now
so we
when I
couldn't
say
walk out.
when I say walked out of Pixels, because she asked, have you walked
Yeah.
out of a movie going, oh, that was a new experience?
Oh,
I walked out
In the
of
middle?
Pixels. I would say 3/4 of the way, because I went back and I found it online, and I watched the last little bit of
Whatever. How it
it. I
ended.
did not miss much.
No, you didn't.
I,
No, it was a terrible
I-
movie. I completely agree with you.
Gravity.
You walked out of Gravity?
I didn't walk out, but I walked out of it going.
So you just wasted your life.
I saw that with Colton, and I went. I wasted an because it's not even a very long movie. It's only an hour and 15.
Oh shoot! I should go watch it.
Like I.
No,
Like
I
Colton and I
won't.
looked at each other and went, we wasted an hour and 15 minutes of our lives that we
Wow.
are never going to get
I really
back.
liked Gravity. There wasn't much plot to it, but I thought visually it was really interesting. It was,
I thought
you were a space kid. That's why.
and I love
Connor's not a
space.
space
I
person.
love
but
space.
Colton is.
And he still said it.
And he was like, oh my god, this was bad. And for us, we both recognized that movie had great cinematography. But if your cinematography is just great cinematography for the sake of great cinematography,
You might as
if
well
it's-
have
if
Avatar.
if it's not tied to
No, Avatar
anything,
was trash. Avatar was garbage.
we're talking about The Last Airbender.
No. Oh, that was garbage too.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
no.
actually like Avatar. Just well, that's I liked the sci-fi remake of Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
Yes! Definitely.
I'm
Is
so
that the
glad.
first time you've heard him say
I guess,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Because
I've
I've
never
been
said
saying
that.
that for years.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard him say that. I'm gonna jump on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on your small question within a big question first,
Sure.
real quick.
Whoa.
The only movie I have ever seen that I'm like I completely wasted my time watching this movie, Labyrinth. Have you seen Labyrinth?
Yeah.
What do you think of Labyrinth?
I enjoy it for the experience.
When did you watch it?
I enjoyed it for the novelty. I watched it for the first time when I was 14, 15.
Okay, so you were still as a 23-year-old, I was like, what the fuck is this movie about? And
Yeah.
why and why and why and
it's
why?
It's about a girl getting her first period and growing up.
Oh, it's the dumbest thing ever. As a woman, I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as you did. I definitely
Also,
didn't get
it's a product of the time. You have to think of it
It is
as
incredibly dated. yeah.
not just dated, but like this is an 80s movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like if the band Aha had a movie.
Right. And yeah, I guess that's all I got to say about it. Yeah,
But that was the only
yeah,
movie that I was like, I hate that I watched this because, and I love Muppets.
Yeah.
I love anything that Jim Henson gets
Yeah.
his hands into
Yeah.
normally, except this piece of crap.
Dark Crystal.
Is that one bad too? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it in a long
Some
time.
people
I watched
either love it or hate it.
I watched
and
it when I was a kid, and I remember going, "This isn't Lord of the Rings."
Wow.
I think the Skeksis at least are interesting in that one. This one, I honestly couldn't tell you what was happening.
I've never
so
walked.
that was my answer to my question.
Okay, I want to.
But
I just
yeah,
wanna,
jump on this little one real quick.
I've never walked out of a movie, mostly because
me
like
neither.
sometimes I see them with people. I don't always. Sometimes I
No,
see them.
you don't.
and I feel like I can't walk out of a movie if someone else is there. And all the movies I see about myself are movies that I'm really excited for. So even if they end up being terrible, I want to stay to the end. The only movie I've ever wanted to leave and walk out of was Fantastic Four.
You did. You went to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I was like, I
And
don't.
we're
need-
gone for like ever.
Yeah, I was like, the longer I stay in
And
this.
four stick we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fan
Okay.
Four Stick, which we talked about on a previous
Yeah.
episode. I went to the bathroom in the middle of that movie, and I was like, the longer I stay here, the less of that movie I have to watch.
Just to reiterate, the question is,
Yes.
what is something you're into right
Got it.
now
Okay.
that is current that you either like or at least enjoy or maybe even super into
Yeah.
that others just are hating on right now?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll answer it. mine's not current, but people are still hating on it.
Okay.
So we're really getting into Alien right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've watched the first 3.
Right.
And people have always said like, oh, once you get past 2, don't even bother. Like
Right.
they're just
Like
crap.
like watch
movies.
Alien, watch Aliens,
and then just
don't
stop.
watch any other movies.
Yeah. But we just watched 3 last night, and watching it, I was like, this is entertaining.
Yeah.
Like every movie, there's flaws.
Sure.
But not as many as I truly thought this was going to be a pile of crap that
Yeah,
I
like,
wasn't even enjoying.
I had seen this movie before, and I didn't remember any. Tywin Lannister is one of the main characters in this movie, Charles Dance, and I didn't remember him in this movie at all. Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, also in this movie. He has like a line.
Yeah, he's
I
not. He's not.
He's listed in like the main credits as one of the starring characters, but he has a single line, and he's like in 2 minutes of the movie total. So it was really disappointing. But yeah, I'm on the same page as you, where I was like, everyone says this is a terrible movie. This is not a terrible movie. I've seen terrible movies. Fantastic
Now, for
Four.
clarity, you're talking about Alien.
Alien Cube.
Alien 3.
Alien Cube.
Yeah,
Right.
Cubed.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't
Alien,
the-
that's Resurrection?
that's the 4th one.
Okay. That one's not great.
No.
Okay, yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that's bad.
That one...
I will make my own decision. when I see it.
Objectively, not even objectively, is not a good movie.
And Alien 3 was directed by David Fincher, and you
Yeah.
could tell, like, there were
Yeah.
some David Fincher moments,
Sure.
and I didn't mention him in when we talked about our favorite directors, but
Yeah.
David Fincher is
Oh,
one of my
sure,
favorite
yeah.
directors. He directed Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's one of the
That's
best.
You said it
surprises
like
you?
it was a secret.
No, but
we couldn't talk about
but
it.
like I keep forgetting that Fight Club exists, and whenever people ask like, "What are some of your favorite movies?" I don't put Fight Club on the list because I don't think about it. But whenever I think about Fight Club, I'm like,
don't talk about Fight Club.
"That's
That's
right.
right.
We don't talk about Fight Club."
Anyway.
Forget I mentioned it.
I thought Alien 3, out of the 3 Alien movies that I've seen so far, 2 was really good. I like 2 better than 1.
Aliens is really good.
1 is atrociously long and boring, and they could have cut a half an hour or
It's very
even an
sensible.
hour out of it.
Also, very much a product of its time. Very
yes,
dated.
yes, very dated.
Very surreal. Like, it's definitely creating, like, that surrealist...
Yeah, different
Like,
universe.
atmosphere.
Yeah,
H.R. Giger.
all that stuff.
Giger.
Geiger.
But like,
I hated all of them. I think.
and I'm a huge Sigourney Weaver fan.
Yeah.
Great, even of the 3 movies, I think she did the best acting in 3,
Okay.
actually. But
Well, this surprises me that she was the main character in the first one, because watching that first one again, she doesn't really do anything for the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
It's only when like things start going down, and even at the beginning, she doesn't really. It's only
I
when
kind of like that about some movies.
Well, yeah.
I like going into a movie
Not
going,
knowing
who's
it gonna
is,
be?
is there going to be like a rising hero?
Yeah,
or a
no,
rising
you're exactly right
character?
about that. Yeah, it's the only issue with that is it's been so long, and it's such like a this is Sigourney Weaver versus the alien.
Yeah.
and we know that now.
Going
but
into
going
it
into
then,
it at the
okay.
time, it must have been like really exciting to be like.
I was gonna say,
anyone could be the last.
I was
if
deprived.
anyone
I was
survived.
deprived from that because
Yeah.
growing up in a culture where everyone else
Oh,
has
right.
already watched this movie. Oh yeah, Sigourney Weaver's. gonna
And
be
she's
the
in
best.
all of them.
Spoilers. Do not say that because I had some major questions at the end of 3. Anyway, that's mine. Not too current, but people are still hating on it.
Yeah, that's a really good one
Mm-hmm.
because I just watched it again, and I had always remembered it as being a terrible movie.
You know,
because I watched
you
it when
gotta
I
make
was a
your own
kid.
decisions.
Is she
And that's what everybody
slated
says.
to be in Alien Covenant?
I don't think so. I didn't know they were making a new one until you just said that to me. So.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is also a Prometheus sequel.
Oh,
I'm
yep.
really excited for that. Oh,
Yeah.
Also you need to watch Prometheus.
Yeah, add it to the
That's
list.
not a terrible movie, even though a lot of people say it is.
Yeah.
Do you like Alien or Predator better?
I think that they are two very different, even though they are grouped together a lot of times.
They are
specifically-
very different.
Recently, specifically because of the AVP movie,
Yes.
or the two
There were
AVP
two.
There's two.
movies. But that aside, I think people group them together because I think there were hints that they had a shared universe. Anyway,
yeah,
because
we just watched Predator
In
2.
Predator 2, there's an alien skull.
Oh, okay, so yeah, so
Yeah.
I try not to say which one I like better because before
Apples and oranges?
before AVP, they were different genres.
Which one did you enjoy watching?
Well, Aliens and Predator were the same genre, just action, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sci-fi, quote-unquote, action. But Alien, the first one.
Like out of like pure enjoyment and with rewatches, probably the first Predator.
Yeah, that was
Just because
that was really good.
I can watch that
Yeah,
not
I
on loop, but like I really enjoy that movie. Like I think the beats of that movie are really distinct and clear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far as like what gets me going, like what like ignites me, like I mean, the Alien series.
Yeah,
like, definitely.
yes,
yeah.
that is exactly how
Yeah.
I feel so far,
I-
watching these for the first time.
For me, I'm like tempted to say Aliens, the second one, because like everything about it is so solid.
That was
Like
my question.
I know. We'll get back on that. But like Predator is, I think, the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It was like his best performance.
Yes, I agree.
I think we all.
I don't know. Jingle All the Way. Pretty good.
I think we all tend.
You don't even ignore your me. Go ahead.
I think a lot of people just acknowledge Arnold as like a goofy actor. Like he does some pretty absurd.
He's either
things.
Terminator or he's ridiculous.
Yeah, or he's like just goofy and silly, right? But like he was acting and very well in Predator.
It wasn't a jughead, yeah. Or, yeah, that's the word I wanted to use.
So
Definitely.
And I believe the intelligence that came from that character. Whereas in some films, like, I don't believe... And that's nothing against Arnold Schwarzenegger as a person. It's just the roles that they place him in and the way that he acts, the objectives. Mm-hmm. I never get the impression that he's the most intelligent of characters when he plays them.
And they never explain why he's always Austrian. Like, True Lies, he's like a spy and he's married to Jamie Lee Curtis. And they're like married in America. And it's like, he just talks like this, it's fine, we're never going to question it.
But again, product of time.
Yeah.
It was more about seeing these people in these scenarios
Right.
than watching a movie with, like...
With character development.
with completely intact narrative
Yeah.
and... Anyway.
What's
What was the question?
The question...
So the question is, what is something that is current, or is currently relevant,
Yeah.
that you are into, either passingly or super into, that others are just hating on?
Okay. Honestly, I don't think...
And maybe because of I know who you are and I know you liked, maybe if you could add in, like, maybe why you think people are hating on it and why you disagree.
See, the problem is...
Oh.
Well, the problem is there's like nothing that I can think of right now that I'm into that other people are hating on, because the only thing that I'm like super into right now is comic books, like more so than usual. Like I've been like really like invested in comic book and like reading them.
Okay, then how about I like in place of like the question proper, I pose something to you.
Yeah.
Why do you like the New 52?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because I do not.
Okay, I'll tell you why I like the New 52, because I started with them. So there's
Do we want to give background on what that? Do we think we need to give background
just
on
a
that?
just a brief thing. I can just
For people
Yeah, sure, go
like
ahead. Yeah,
me.
please.
yeah. So
I'll add anything if I think I need to.
DC Comics has been running for say a while, 1938.
Yeah.
So
DC when it was Action Comics,
right? And then they expanded to become DC, and they added Batman, the Flash, Wonder Woman, all these characters who became like iconic and awesome. And they had like years of character arcs, and then they had big events like the crises that happened, and then there was Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was like the biggest thing ever, which I'm currently reading. The Flash went back in time to save his mother from being murdered.
He went back in time, things changed, they got all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then he had to change it. So he goes back, and he's like, oh, like, things are fine. And then he's like, oh. And that's how we have the New 52.
Right. So the New 52 is essentially a reboot, cross-wide, where everything... What they claim is that everything was reset, but a lot of the events that have happened still happened, but it's very muddy. They're very muddy about it, because it's like 5 years? 5 years ago?
Well, they retconned... See, originally it was 5 years, but they retconned Batman specifically and said, no, he's been doing this for 10.
And that makes sense, because he's gone through 4 Robins in that time
Originally
period.
they said he has trained Dick Grayson to be Robin, and Dick Grayson has done all his stuff as Nightwing.
Yeah.
He has trained... He trained Jason Todd, and he died and had his thing and became Red Hood.
Yeah.
He trained Tim Drake, did his thing with Robin, and now he is Red Robin. And now he has his son
Damian
Wayne.
Who, like...
This is all in 5 years. He became Batman 5 years ago, and in that time...
Yeah, went through these 4 Robins and had all this stuff
Right,
happen.
exactly.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
It doesn't...
And
so
had
they
a
were
how old son? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But I like what they did with that is, like, they were planning Damian... Spoilers, Damian is a natural... The son of Damian Wayne and Talia al Ghul, but he is also a clone.
Bruce Wayne.
Like, it's more of Bruce Wayne.
Right.
So, like, when he was with the League of Shadows before he became Batman, which is canon,
Sure.
like, they had a kid and they cloned Damian. to have armies of like
Gotcha.
Batman
Like
and
Robin Rises.
yeah. Anyway, comics are weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we're saying is New 52,
And I started reading comics in like 2013, 2014.
after New 52,
which is post New 52, or when New 52 was ongoing. Actually, my first title was Future's End, which Future's End is an amazing comic where, like, 35 years in the future...
your first title was actually Trinity War that you read for New 52.
This was around the same time.
Okay.
I didn't hate it the way everyone did because it changed things, because I didn't care about any of that, because I didn't read comics before.
Right.
So that's why I didn't hate it. And I would say the only reason I really like it is because the titles that I was reading were good titles. Like, I started with Trinity War, which was amazing, even though I didn't know anything about, the crime syndicate, who, spoilers, I guess, for the end of Trinity War, they show up at the end, and that's like the big twist, is like what's coming, what's the Pandora's box about, the skull that she has, and it's I didn't know anything about that, but I was still excited reading it, so it was really good. And then the Forever Evil event that happened after that was like super good, like awesome, and I loved reading that. So everything that I read in New 52 was just good stuff, and I just wasn't reading any of the crap that everyone was talking about. So I guess that's really the biggest reason. I don't have like a specific, I liked that they did this, because there just wasn't a lot that I picked up on.
And I think a reason why you initially, and I don't know how you feel with New 52 now that it's ending, or if you like are kind of okay, I don't know where you stand on that, but you sort of avoided the crap.
Yeah.
Like, just unintentionally.
Oh,
you were
yeah,
just
yeah.
Reading.
It wasn't like I was like,
the
oh,
better
everyone says
things.
this is bad, so I won't read it. I mean,
Right.
I did that a few times, but it was
Right.
It was mostly like, I'm going to read Batman, I'm going to read Justice League.
So for those who are listening, who are maybe more Marvel people or just aren't into comics, one of my biggest complaints, and of course I am not hidden the fact that I'm a huge Superman fan.
Yes.
I hated what they did with Superman.
Right.
Hated.
Yeah.
Hated. First off, he wears armor in the New 52.
Why?
Why?
That's going to sound great.
And then secondly, they undid the whole Clark Kent Lois Lane thing. You will always have Orpheus and Eurydice.
Sure.
It's always going to happen that way. You will never have a story where there is an Orpheus and there isn't Eurydice. You'll never have Eurydice where there is an Orpheus.
Right.
And yet,
And
they're
then
like,
you had.
and because people are like, well, when are we going to see that? When are we going to see that? Because they're developing this really cool thing. Are we going to see more of that? And then the creators at DC were like, oh, we are never going to do that again. That happened before. We're not doing that now. And I'm thinking, again, I get changing for you, so you can change. You can bring more people in because you don't want to retell the same stories over and over. I get it. But that means you have to be better writers. You shouldn't force. You know what I mean? You shouldn't as a writer rely on the content itself to drive it. You should be driving it as the writer.
Right.
Batman, however, the Batman book,
The Snyder Capullo.
yeah, not necessarily the whole Batman stuff in New
Bat
52,
Family, right.
because some of that was really bad. But like specifically that title, that book, Batman, written by Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder. Yeah.
So I am so sorry, Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder, and art by Greg Capullo, and I don't know who does the ink, inking, but great art, great
Love
stories.
the art style.
That is my favorite part of the New 52 is that specific book.
Yes.
And
that's just what I was reading. Just to wrap it up, I will say I really liked the New 52 for all the reasons that I just got, avoiding the crap and just reading the good stuff and not caring about what they changed. I worry now that it's over that people are going to be like, that was a huge misstep from DC, and we can just kind of not ignore the New 52, but agree that it was a bad idea. Now that it's over, and now we can move on.
And I'll just say quickly,
yes,
having really looked into the new Rebirth stuff, which is this post New 52 stuff.
Oh,
that is what you were talking about. You're worried about is not the direction they're going.
Yeah,
I'm okay with the direction they're going, which is this is still the New 52 universe.
Right.
All of what the New 52 has happened, but something needed to change.
Yes,
they're actively changing things to bring back what fans have loved, keeping what worked in the New 52. So next question.
Thank God. Anyway.
I'll probably cut a lot of that down, at least.
Well, I'm glad our listeners to go
Wait,
through.
wait, one second.
But
An hour and a half. I thought this was going to be faster because we're missing something.
no way.
No.
My question is on the fun side. What is something that you do that is a bad habit? And this is a two-parter. And what is something that other people do that is a bad habit that drives you crazy? It's kind of the Peeves and the Qs.
I like this question.
So you chill on yours. I'm gonna tell mine.
I like this question.
I know that I have a bad habit of picking my fingers, and I do it constantly. Like I pick at them.
Yep.
I don't bite my nails, but I pick at them, and it is very loud. And Alex can't stand it.
I just don't like that you're like hurting yourself, and I try to stop you from hurting yourself.
Yeah, I know, but it's not gonna stop. Well, I tried to stop, but it's just very hard.
I just try to like make you aware that you're doing it because I don't hate that you do it. I just want you to know so that you can be like, oh, I'm doing this. I should stop if you want to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I just like pointing it out when you do it because you do it so much.
Yes, and then the peeve that I have of other people's bad habits, and it's not so much a habit, and I have a bunch of them, but this one stood out in my mind the most, is that if you have acne, or maybe you just once in a while have acne.
Suddenly you're really self-conscious.
No. And I get, you know what, we all have those days where we come home from work and you're like, what the fuck? Nobody told me I had this huge thing on my face. And you didn't know. And I get that part.
Right.
But when you purposefully, like, go out and don't take care of the acne that's, like, prominently on your face, and I get why you shouldn't. You're not supposed to pick at your face because it creates scars and that type of stuff. But, like, I don't know how people can sit there with literal pockets of pus on their faces.
Gross.
Pockets of pus, sorry.
That's not better
I
that
know,
you
but I
explained
said
it
pockets
right.
of whatever. So that's mine.
See, it's not even just like blemishes or like
No,
already
I'm
popped
talking
zits that
like
have makeup.
no,
like, they don't have
I'm
makeup
talking
on.
like
Whitehead.
Like you need to go to the bathroom right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, why would you even walk out
Bill Murray
and
and
completely leave
Osmosis
that?
Jones.
Osmosis Jones, yeah. And
I'm gonna
and
be sick.
I know that people are like, oh, the doctor says you're not supposed to. Fuck that, because get the pus out of your body. It's literally sitting on top of the skin. Get it out.
I'm
And
gonna go to
feel
the
it.
bathroom.
And I've seen people that have really bad acne
Yeah,
scars.
and I get that.
But that's the thing, and I feel really bad for those people because I don't get that because
Yeah.
I'm someone who had, and this is before you even knew me, Alex. I had like early teenage years.
Yeah.
I had really bad acne, like it was bad,
Yeah.
and I popped every single one of those, and I don't have a single acne scar on my
Because
face.
you probably did it right. People some people just sit there and they like literally like use their nails and like dig into you, and that's how you get scars and stuff. And I get that, but
And then there are people that like because there's someone that I know that has really bad acne scars. So I asked him one time like, did you? What's this from? Like, it's clear acne. He's like, oh no, like, I had a really bad case of acne on my face one time, and when it went away, it left scars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god.
So, and I know everybody's different, but like if it's so much sitting on your skin that you can literally like scratch it and it comes off, just take care of it.
Ew.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I
This
know.
is
I
disgusting.
know you two hate this subject.
This is disgusting.
But I'm a little obsessed with zits.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, you are. All right,
Mr. Red?
I guess I'll go. Okay, one bad habit that I grind my teeth.
Oh, you don't grind your teeth. You clench your teeth.
Yeah, I clench my teeth. I didn't realize I did this until very recently. And now I think about it, like, whenever I do, I'm like, I gotta stop that because that's bad for your teeth. I think.
And your muscles in your face.
And your
Yeah.
muscles. I just like to chew on things. I think I'm constantly teething because I'm like, I always like have the sensation where I'm like,
get you
Yeah.
so much.
yeah, I just like, I love chewing gum because it's like, I just like to have like
I can't even chew gum because my muscles
Mechanical
are so tight.
pencil erasers, though.
Really?
Yes.
I've never chewed.
Specifically mechanical.
I have just turned him. I'm so sorry. You're going to find so many, like, teeny
You better
tiny
not.
mechanical
I'll
pencil
kick
erasers.
I'll kick your butt from here to Tuesday.
I'll just try it. I think I just don't like the taste of like erasers though. Like I've tried it, and it's just like too rubbery.
Not that we're eating erasers.
No, it's just like when it's in your mouth, you have that taste.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah, so
Like that oral fixation. I totally get it.
Yeah. Bad habits that other people have that I hate. Guys,
You have a million of them.
this is
Why
our
can't you
best
think of
episode.
them?
I don't know. It's what's your favorite movie? I can't think of any movies.
Oh, wow, that's a lot
I know,
of complaints.
that's sad. Yeah.
Do we want to like move on?
No,
and I'll
we'll
come
cut it
back
out,
to
just think about
Okay. Help me out here. What have I complained that other people do?
I mean,
'Cause
leaving food
Categorically or alphabetically?
out. Yeah.
Because there are things that people do that I hate. But like
as people, but not
Leave
some
the door open?
individual, like as a pattern.
Leave the door open.
But that's like something that they're consciously doing. It's not.
Still a hat. I don't know, I guess.
I don't know if I consider that. I guess like eating really loudly, not eating with your mouth open, but like my grandfather.
Using your like it, and it's I know what it is. It's people use their
Yes! Their epiglottis.
their yes. Well, no, I'm doing this with my tongue. I'm using my tongue
To push it against
move
it.
to move the food against teeth and like jaw, teeth like
Yeah,
hard. I didn't
yeah.
jaw. Hard palate.
Yeah.
So I don't know about the specifics there. I just know like I can eat with people and it's fine, but like if I hear like the food like sloshing around in your mouth and like sliding down your throat, and I'm just like, can I please eat in my room like away from everybody? Because,
I have that
like,
too. My sister, when she, for some reason, when she got braces, and I thought this was a thing that people all did when they had braces, chew, not necessarily with your mouth open, but chew where you're able to breathe while you're eating through your mouth.
I had braces and I did not do that.
See, I had braces too, and when I had braces, I was like, "Oh, you're just a fucking idiot," because I can choose with my
You do
mouth.
chew differently. You
Yeah.
chew very differently.
Oh, I bet.
But my sister to
But-
this day still doesn't, and she doesn't have braces on it. And it's like, oh, that drives me crazy.
You two both had braces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Jordan?
I don't
don't
think so.
know.
No, he did not.
Okay, well, good. Me and Jordan then. I've never had braces either. Probably should have.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt.
I'm not doing
Not
it
that
now.
you could.
No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going through that.
I used to have a permanent bottom retainer that fell out in the
That
accident.
does not sound permanent.
Well, no,
It's only cemented
Well,
on.
no, it's because my face got smashed against a windshield
Still not permanent. Come up with a different name.
or
It is
window.
Anyway, shut up.
Okay. So yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
people who
there's
eat loud. Yeah.
loud eaters, because it's just like I'm trying to eat, and it's a very sensitive process.
Yeah.
It can go wrong real easy, and just be like, I
Me
can't
too.
stomach
Yeah.
food
Well,
right now.
but that's the thing. Like, there is something about that sound to me, and it doesn't bother me when I'm eating.
Mm.
So, for example, it was when I was living with my grandparents, or I'm at my grandparents, and I'm at their desktop computer, which is in an area of the house where my grandpa has this really awesome like area next to a lot of windows, and he sits there and it's his area, and he will often eat lunch on like just on a plate, there, and he chews that way. And at the dinner table, it's totally fine.
Because
Either I'm not paying attention or I'm doing the same thing
Yeah.
or whatever, but that's the place for it. If I cannot tell you how often I'm reading an article online or I'm watching something or I'm just
you
online
hear in the background.
and I hear it and it is the most infuriating, annoying sound in the world.
Yep.
And like I long for respites of breathing or swallowing.
Put in headphones. Like, you don't have to listen to that.
I guess.
I guess it's over now.
Some people, I hear what I ask this question a lot to just people that I meet or whatever, because I think it's a good icebreaker. But like a lot of people say like when forks scrape across teeth, that doesn't bother me. Mainly because I bet that's what I hear every single day, and I actually do that to people every single day.
Yeah.
But I just hear that. I mean, you quivered when I said that, so it must bother you.
Forks and teeth don't bother me. Forks on plates.
Hey!
Oh, hi. Well, all right. Well, we have a very special guest
forks
this
on
episode.
plates?
Yeah,
Okay.
forks on plates is a different story.
No, he's regenerated.
Oh, so special.
One
Special
time.
guest has become
It must be-
one-time
One-time
guest. which is what his original name was intended to be.
This is our season finale, and so next season you're going to become a new. Well, in this episode, you become a new man. This is where you're our one-time guest. Did you get a haircut?
We're glad you... No, you got a haircut last week.
I actually regenerated into my new form.
Stop it. Stop it.
No, guys. Exclusively from here on out, he's going to be British.
Stop it.
The worse your accent is, the better. I love this. I love this idea.
I don't think I...
Glad you're
this is
safe.
terrible. Shut it down. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, this is actually the end. We're done, right? Like, everybody had a peeve, a question. We all
You didn't answer. He didn't give a peeve or answer my question
it's fine.
yet.
Thank you for listening.
Are we?
Yeah,
are we moving
go ahead,
on?
go ahead.
A bad habit that I have that I don't like is I pick
You picked two?
specifically at like the cuticles.
Oh,
like my
yeah.
fingers.
Yeah.
I think
And
all
so
over.
like I have like they're pushed back really bad, and sometimes like
I cannot believe how
I
much we
break
are
skin.
like...
I break skin, and then I go like,
Yeah,
and then of course
and then you
I
bite
go,
it off.
No, I don't bite it off, but like I'll get it, and I'll try to bite it off, but like
It won't.
but there'll be like this like line of
Man.
like exposed like underskin, and I'm like, oh well, I'm grossing way too many people out.
Yeah,
for
I'm
this.
gonna be
Not me,
straight
because
up.
I know exactly what you're going through.
like that's, and then a bad habit that other people have that I don't like. I don't like that slurping sound, like, and it's very similar to yours when you're talking about eating, but this is very specific to drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Not even just the, but also the
Oh, the gulp.
and there's always like that second and the
the
gulp,
gulp.
and I'm just like, stop it. You don't have to do that.
You slurp your coffee. And I don't know if it's because you think it's going to be really hot.
Because it is really hot.
Yeah. Oh, no, you think it's really hot.
Coffee
No,
is the exception because it is super hot and you have to slurp.
I know,
Yeah.
but-
but then do you gulp it?
No, he doesn't.
I don't even know how to do that.
No,
No,
I can't.
I can't make that sound.
I think I'm about to gag just even
Oh,
trying.
wow.
Okay,
Stop doing
stop.
this if you hate
Stop.
it
I'm
so
gonna
much.
gag.
All right. The question, if you want to jump in on this, is yours.
Mine.
And it was. Don't.
It's my question. Let
Yeah,
me
but I
say
want to
it.
remember. I'm trying to work on being a better remember of things.
Okay.
Number of things.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's
Like
what's a bad habit that you have, and also what's a bad habit that annoys you when everybody else does, which is kind of like a peeve and cue at the same time.
Well, I would say that a bad habit
Stop it.
Sorry. Let me clear that up. So a bad habit that I have, I tend to get frazzled pretty quickly when I'm trying to get things done. When I do a task, I'm like an objective-based person, A, B, C, D, timely manner. Like I have a list and it's gonna get done. And when my agenda gets fucked up, I get nettled.
Nettled.
Very
It's a callback.
nettled. Yeah. And then another habit that other people have that annoys me is when they fuck up my agenda. No, I'm kidding. To me, the worst habit is...
Like tires.
We'll get to that.
We will get to your peeve this week.
Yeah.
But no, I would say the habit that... it's odd because I usually kind of just accept other people's habits. Like, I don't really have that one thing that just makes me hate someone like, oh, you son of a bitch. But if I were to pick a bad habit, I would say it's people who aren't self-aware.
That's a big one.
Yeah, like...
That's what I was trying to say initially, but I didn't know how, so I defaulted
and
to this
you
other
picked, and you
thing.
picked another one?
Yes.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
I mean, we're all flawed beings.
Yeah.
And we need to accept that. Like, we're not that great. We're all pretty bad trying to be good.
Yep.
Uh,
This is something that I struggle with myself a lot.
Me
'Cause,
too.
like I'm constantly just being like super conscious of myself and being like, wait, how am I coming off? Right now? Is there anything that's like
But his
wrong
problem
with
is
me?
the exact opposite.
If you're,
right,
if you're
right,
not doing
right.
that, then
Right.
yeah.
and I'm not saying everyone should be super self-conscious or even
No,
alter who they are for other people, but know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
know that
you-
you could be wrong.
And know that, maybe people don't like you because of who you are. But that's okay.
Right.
Quick story, babe. I definitely saying that. I had this girl in high school, and I didn't like her just because of her. And for and we kind of hung out with the same group of people, but she would be like, Jody hates me for no reason. And I would say, no, it's not no reason. I just don't like you. Like, what you do and how you do and whatever.
You know, your personality.
Yeah. Like, we just don't click.
It's not no reason.
So, and that's
That's
what
not no reason.
Yes.
That's
the
I
reason.
know that's what a lot of people I don't think understand. Like, I just don't like you.
Right. You don't have to necessarily
And
do
you don't,
something.
and
We
I don't
don't
have
match,
to,
man.
and I don't have to like you.
I feel like there's this expectation that when people hang out, it's like, hey, we have to have great chemistry together, and we have to like just be on the same level. And there are examples that we can talk about like off the podcast where it's like I tried hanging out with people. It's like we just don't work together as like friends or whatever. So
Yeah.
we're just not going to. That's fine. Like we can just let that
Yeah.
be.
Well, that's like
I wish more people,
a lot
could
of
be
people
like
who I work with are like, oh, we should hang out. I'm like, no.
No.
Yeah.
Because who I am here is not who I am outside of here.
Have you
It
ever
just
had
doesn't
people
Yeah,
work.
that
that's
you're
a big
like,
thing.
you seem really cool. I'd like to hang out with you, but I just don't know. Like, I'm not gonna ask you out as like a friend. I'm not gonna be like, would you want to hang out sometime? Like at a bar or something like that. It's like, no, it's just like, hey, it's like you're cool. We have similar interests. Maybe we could like do something. Have you ever had something like that?
No, I don't. Not really. Pretty much all my friends have selected me.
Great.
I just throw myself out there, and
That's
some of them are
convenient.
like, I'm picking up on that.
All your friends are just like, you have been chosen.
It's like, you know what?
Because they drop
Bye-bye.
it and leave it, and I pull up, kick, retrieve it. No? Okay.
What are you doing? What is
Wing and a miss.
Yeah, okay. Someone out there will get it, and they will.
So that concludes everything except. Do you have a peeve this week?
Or was that your people?
Or is that like where have you been? What's wrong with you?
Oh, boy.
Why are you so late?
So the
Explain
reason
yourself.
I had to regenerate at the
Yeah.
end of the season
Right.
is because I was driving home from work, which I would have been just on time for the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm driving home, and my car starts to vibrate. I'm like, oh, that's not good.
It's scary.
You know what? I'll get home, I'll check it out, whatever.
Nope.
Then it starts to
That's mine.
Mistake number one.
it starts to drag a little bit, like you can feel it resisting. I'm like,
Mistake number two.
He hasn't done anything yet.
He has made mistakes.
the tire is not going to make it. You know what? I'm going to see how close I can get to home. Maybe I'll get
That's
home.
mistake
No,
number three.
And then I get about 2 miles from home, right to that nice busy part of.
Town.
Sure.
Viridian City.
You know, that
The
road
daily
goes
pleasure.
all the way across Michigan. I get to.
It's only called Vienna's.
And my tire blows out, and I'm like, well, god damn it, time to do this again. Now, my peeve isn't blown out tires. My peeve is something so much worse that almost no one probably knows about. There are these things called locking lug nuts. Now, there's a rash of rim thefts in some parts of the country, which fine. They created this awesome security feature for it that isn't really that great. You see, there's lug nuts that require
That's not more unfair.
a special key to open.
What?
It's just
Why?
it's just a part you put in the socket wrench to get traction, so that
Yeah.
people need the key to take the lug nut off. That way, people can't just come up and steal your rims. The reason it's dumb is because it's a $15 part you can buy at any tire store, so anyone can get it
Yeah.
to steal your rims. Now, let me explain. The theory is you put one on each tire. Because, you know, if one lug nut's on, you're not taking the tire off. Well, because my rims were, I say were because I got new rims because of this problem, were so jacked up, you could only put locking lug nuts on it. So I have 5 on each tire.
Did you have to have 5 different keys?
No, I
Okay,
have
good.
I have had 5 different keys. But
Oh
That's
my
that's a whole
God.
separate issue
Yeah.
that she's getting into right now.
you see, when you go to take it off,
Uh-huh.
right? Now, if you don't have an air-powered hose to remove your lug nuts, and you do it by hand, like I do, because I'm not a mechanic, I just go and I hear a pop. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, lug nut's loose. And then I go, and it's just loose, and the key is popped open. It's just broken open.
The metal bit is like bent.
And so now, before when this happened, I went out and bought 2 more, and they broke. And I was like, okay, well, they must have just been cheap metal. They're aftermarket. So when I went to the tire shop to get it fixed, the people there said, hey, we have this extra key. It's what we use. Just take it. I was like, oh, you guys are awesome. And they are. And so I get that, and I'm just going away and just snap. I'm like, you got fucking kidding me. And the tool also, it broke again. And so then my uncle came out and took a normal socket wrench, but a good one by Snap-on. Endorsement in process. Took a Snap-on socket wrench, hammered it in so it would fit, and just franked on it until it came off.
Oh.
And then we went to a used tire place, and I got 4 new rims because I was done with that shit.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You're in the hole now.
Yeah.
The debt grows.
You know what?
Wow.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, I finally got rid of my biggest pet peeve since I discovered their existence, locking lug nuts. One day I will run for Congress just to outlaw them.
Nice.
I've had things like that where I've been like, I'm not a politician, but I want to be just to solve this because it's a problem. We've talked about like colleges in the past, like tuition.
Last week.
Stuff.
Yep.
Oh man.
I know what you mean.
All right.
Cool. This has been one of our worst podcasts. That's a great season finale, so I'm glad that we were able to make it special by not having you on for a while and then having you show up in the middle.
Just in time to save the show.
Just in time
That's
to save
right.
it. Yeah.
Our listeners are hanging out like, where's the special guest?
Yeah. I'm about to
One
turn
time
this
guest.
off.
One. Yeah.
So, special guest is gone forever. We have one-time guest who comes in now. Do you want to come up with a new name for yourself?
One-time guest Marky Mark.
Cool.
Oh.
So we'll see you guys.
Shut it down.
We'll see you guys next week. This has been season 1 of Peeves and Qs because
Season 1, Volume 1, or just Season 1?
Season 1.
All right.
So it'll be
Good season, guys.
Because what we're gonna do, just as a quick recap, is all the episodes that we've done so far are gonna go up at once, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the next episode will be like a week after, you know, because like the first 7 will be dumped at once. Okay, so we're done.
So, cocaine rap party?
Yeah, that's it. We're going on. So thank you for listening to Peeves and Qs. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. spelled out the long way, Red2342. That's at Mr. Red2342. You can follow me. Also, I'm on Facebook, Mr. Red Productions. What else do we got? You on Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Clever Girl FX.
Clever Girl FX Studios.
Right. And
keep an eye open for Critical Fail Productions on YouTube coming soon.
My eyes are open.